I've got basic cerebral function back online. Energon levels are optimal. Fluids and lubricants are fine. We just have to wait.
Wait for what? Who are you? Where am I, and what am I doing here?
She's not one of us. The symbol isn't one I recognize. She's not a Decepticon either. Any idea when she'd be fit to tell us her story? I don't know exactly. There was a feedback loop when she came back online before, and I had to lock out access to parts of her memory bank. Road rage, it was awful. She was crying out as if she was being tortured.
Then we wait.
We wait. Physically, she's back to working order. The damage was pretty heavy, but she managed to put herself into stasis before the energon drain could kill her outright. I wonder who she is. They're not Decepticon colors, but I'm Decepticon colored. Well, you know what I mean. What you mean is your prejudice. I should not lay too much importance on her color scheme. Take good care of her. Oh yes, it's my job. I am Ali Rion. I am alone.
Decepticons. Road rage, is it? Don't tell me you're in charge of that Autobot crew.
The other Autobots sent us here to find something we need.
This is a peaceful medical mission.
Either these Autobots are cracked or there's something wrong with their leaders too.
Yes, but we should not reveal what's going on.
Let me guess. Space headaches, coughing, followed by comatose state.
As much as I want to take over the Decepticons, not like this. We have no troops to command. Yeah, and you're one of us from the other dimension anyway. And another thing. Why does the walking artillery zone have a slagging headache in the first place? It's not like he's ever got anything rattling around inside that Zarkon interfaced helmet of his. I swear you can hear the wind whistling through his aural sensors when the life plant's drawing hard. Lutheranium lubed, misconnected, magnesium circuited lump of slag that he is. He had a headache for 2 days now.
You have a valid point.
And I shouldn't be surprised if he starts feeling his age soon. After all, he's a great deal older than us. Perhaps our dear leader's health may give out one of these cycles.
Are you talking about Megatron?
No, we're talking about the slagging wingnut fairy. Of course, we're talking about Megatron.
Oh.
And if you're considering relaying any part of this conversation to him or his darling Soundwave, you can also take into consideration the fact that I can step on you quite easily and reduce you to a very thin object the size of a mess hall table.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Novastorm. Now run along where the other bots are talking. You think he's deteriorating? I don't know. It's just kind of odd that he's had a headache bad enough to complain about for 2 whole days. He's just never sick. Well, come on. Lately he's been complaining about even getting shot at. Yeah, but then he gets up and blows the rivets out of whoever shot him. Remember how creatively nasty he got when he caught up with the Decepticons. He stayed in the command quarters for 2 days with the door locked and given standing orders not to disturb him. It's weird is all I'm saying. Maybe he's somehow got himself painted pale pink with flowers and is trying desperately to scrub it off before we all see it.
Maybe.
Thrust, you okay?
Sure, just fine. It's not Megatronitis.
I am Ali Rion. I was once Alarius Primatrix. I am nothing. I am interstellar dust. They were waiting for us outside the gate, and I was powerless to stop them. We died for my sake, for my failure. I had been a leader.
5 Decepticons all gathered up ahead. How do you function with such skillful observation?
What is going on?
I don't know.
Kinda looks like a Decepticon trick. What are your orders?
Deep scan. I want an ID on it, and fast.
I am Ali Rion, and I have failed to stop death coming into this plane. I am death.
What are you looking at? But there's nothing wrong with me. Tracker was the one with the problem, and I have eliminated it. He looked awful, really awful, like the activation wasn't far off. By eliminating him, do you have a problem with that? Megatron replied, "Flattery will get you killed, Starscream. I am fully operational, and you would do well to remember it." "Right," I said. "Why are you gray, then?" "Flattery will get you killed by Megatron, Starscream." "Right, he's not here, then. I eliminated the problem."
But Mighty Starscream, how's shooting him gonna do anything?
"Leave him for the Autobots. We will continue to look for the cure." "But Mighty Starscream, do you have a problem with my orders?" "No, sir."
Primus, they shot Thrust.
"Primus, Starscream shot Thrust." "Are you sure?" "Positive. I can see the Decepticon symbol." Get him to our med bay."
What the hell is going on? I didn't even think the cons were out here.
"I know. I have a bad feeling about this."
I'm not reading life signs, but I can't find any wounds. Hold on, getting sensors. He's horribly depleted. His energy reserves are nil. His energon filters. Oh, slag. Someone get me a set of energon filters, right now. He should come out of recharge when he's fully energized.
"Rest. You have done enough."
I am the Deathbringer. I am the Psychopomp who escorts the spark into the worlds beyond. I am the Earthling's Typhoid Mary. I am death, and they have saved my life. Better that they had not. Better that I should have floated in space for eternity. I don't know what's wrong with him. He should have come out of recharge normally. He seems to be getting worse. Hopefully the self-repair systems will knock it out. I don't know what's wrong with him. He should have come out of recharge normally. No, they won't. It's not that simple. It's something we found on Delta Hadron, a virus.
Relax. You'll be all right. Megatron cast us out, and the Starscream shot me.
Hush, let us help you. You're among friends.
"Oh, you're all right. What did you do?"
I just helped him. I helped him, didn't I?
"Yes, you did." "Who are you, really?"
What do you mean? I told you. I'm Ali Rion. I'm a scientist, or I was. You bear matrix energy. I can feel it. Your leader holds the matrix. Then you'll understand. I think Optimus Prime? My name was Alarius Promatrix. I was the leader of a group of guardians stationed at the Peleus Gate in Sector 34. I was the leader because the thing we called the Star Jewel, a fragment of the thing that later became your Matrix, had passed to me upon our old leader's death. The Star Jewel selected its followers. I had no idea it would choose me. I was too young. I couldn't live up to the burden of leadership. I made foolish decisions without thinking ahead. I got us all killed and unleashed the virus that nearly killed that robot in sickbay.
Slow down. Tell it from the beginning, and less of that self-recrimination, please.
Very well. We were out on a routine patrol of the area close to the gate when we received a distress signal.
Sounds desperate.
Delta Hadron, that nothing little planetoid we passed 2 days ago. It wasn't transmitting the signal then. What we found there gave us a virus.
So what did you do? Your crew was stranded on the planet.
I didn't want to leave them there to die. We went in despite the virus. I'm sure we can find some way to halt it. I'm not leaving 7 life forms to die on Hadron.
And you kept your word. You left no one to die on Delta Hadron. They died just outside the Peleus Gate in a ball of purifying flame.
We made planetfall and found the scientists huddled in what was left of the research facility. 2 of them were very ill. The others were only beginning their infection. We got them all aboard and lifted off Delta Hadron.
But you're the only survivor of that ship crash. What about us? How much longer do we have?
I'm not sure. I haven't worked out the transmission vector completely. The infectious particles are so tiny they can pass through the energon filters. But I don't know if direct contact hastens infection.
You said you tried to contact this gate in your report. So you had it. How is that?
That I survived? I can only think it was the Star Jewel that saved me. That was the only thing that set me apart from the other bots on the ship. By the time we reached the Peleus Gate, they were all in deep comas. I'd come out of it shortly after my collapse, feeling shaky and unpleasant, but certainly alive. I contacted the gate officers and informed them of my situation, and told them that I needed to bring the Starjammer through the gate to somewhere with advanced medical support systems if I was going to save the lives of my crew and my passengers. They gave me clearance.
And that's when they fired on you.
Yes, I trusted them to give me a chance at saving our lives. I was knocked out when the Starjammer exploded, and later I woke up in your medbay.
Thank you for telling me. It'll be a long haul till we get our leaders back.
Yeah, somehow it spread to the Autobot and Decepticon leaders first, and not me, which is weird. Must have something to do with you having a piece of the Decepticon matrix in you, not the Autobot.
Thrust. Ali Rion.
I'll go if I'm disturbing you, but I think you need to talk to someone. Let me at least check your vitals. You don't look well.
You wouldn't understand. No one can.
Try me.
You know what I am, right?
I know that you're a Decepticon. I've heard the backstory of that from the others.
Then you know who I served. Megatron, my lord and master. He's the one who chucked me out into space to die. Even I could see he was sick too, but he made the decision that I was the infection's vector, and that I would have to be eliminated. Nobody argued. I was too weak to resist, really. Soundwave and his minibots dragged me to the airlock, released me into space. I think I lost consciousness. I would have hoped for some sympathy from the other jets, Starscream and the Tetrajets.
So your leader Megatron has the virus too.
I was pretty sure. He was having painful cranial circuit overloads. He was weak and bitchier than usual, and kind of gray all over, like he was dusty, and he was coughing.
How long ago was this?
8 cycles.
He's probably dead if the infection is as far along as you say.
No, Megatron can't be dead. Please, you helped me. You saved me. You have to help Megatron.
He cast you out. Why do you want to help him?
He's my leader. I swore an oath.
Come on, let's get you back to medbay. Moonracer would want to check those circuits.
Dark matter to Peleus Gate. Come in, Peleus Gate. Peleus Gate. Stage for identification allegiance. Decepticon Shuttle XK-104. Dark matter. En route to Sector 34 to Cybertron. I need records of all the shipments passed through the gate in the past 10 cycles. Negative, dark matter. That information is classified. You don't understand. I have reason to believe that something came through the gate that has infected my entire crew and is possibly going to result in my deactivation. So I need to know what it is. Your craft entered the area within 60 hectamarks of the coordinates 45.32.82. Affirmative. Hold the channel, dark matter.
What on Cybertron are they doing?
Dark matter information release has been authorized on an emergency basis. A starship containing contaminated personnel and equipment from the planetoid of Delta Hadron was given permission to gate through to this sector. Said starcraft was destroyed upon arrival due to a change in authorization. Unknown pathogen, repeat, unknown pathogen, thought to be destroyed in the fireball, along with the ship and its crew.
Certainly all of it hasn't been destroyed.
Under Amaranthian Accord 35-228, we are placing your ship and all aboard it under quarantine. Do not attempt to dock. Repeat, do not attempt to dock. Any contaminated individuals attempting to enter spaceport will be summarily deactivated.
What about my crew and me?
Await further instruction.
It's quite unlike anything I've ever seen in the Cybertronian physiology. It's much closer to the human immune system's response to a bacterial pathogen. What it means, Prime, is that in response to the infection, Aileron's body somehow produced these nanorobotic cells. I suppose you'd call them, and these nanobots attached themselves to the circulating particles of the disease carrier and deactivated them. That is how she was able to have thrust. From what we're able to make out, these filaments are what produces the systematic shutdown. They clog the filters in the fuel, fluid, lube, and energon sensors, and eventually cause irreversible circuit damage as they prevent energy flow across synapses.
How was Aileron able to produce these nanobots?
I think it's because of the Matrix. How long were you standing right there?
Not long. I heard my name as I went down the hall. I think that my self-repair system was able to generate these things because of the influence of the Matrix's energy. I carry a shard of the same material that became your Matrix. My Star Jewel was nowhere near as powerful as your Matrix, but it had the same effect on me.
A mutation, perhaps? Prime and some of the others are in the CR chambers in stasis lock while this thing passes.
Seems the Decepticons will do the same for Megatron.
The nanobots are capable of deactivating this thing. Dreadwing, I want you to take out as much of my cert fluid as you can. I think it may be our best shot at stopping the disease.
You what?
She's right. We have to use her fluid. Because we can't get to the Matrix. We gotta protect the rest of us, because we're vulnerable. The Matrix is with Prime in stasis.
It could work. Your self-repair systems should be able to keep producing the nanobots, but that'll be an awful drain on you. It needs to be done. What are we calling the disease, anyway?
I don't know. I suppose it ought to have a name other than the Delta Hadron disease. Any ideas? The research facility where it was created was named Nadirak. Nadirak 12, Bio-Cybernetic Research Center.
As good a name as any. Come on, if we're going to do this, we need to start now. It won't hurt.
I know. It's how I helped Thrust. No one told you why he came back with us.
I was too busy with the patient.
Well, when I regained consciousness on board the ship, having been hauled out of space, they just picked up Thrust and were trying to help him. He was dying of it. Of Nadirak? I realized that if I had it and survived, as I had, alone of the crew of my ship, there must be something in my body that could protect others as it had protected me. I just let some of my cert fluid flow into his, and it worked very quickly.
Let's get on with it. I'm not going to take much. I don't want to deplete you too far.
You have to. I don't know what the effective dose of my fluid is. We need as much as you can get. Just hook me up to a drip when you're done, and I'll be recovered. When are you going to let me out of here? Come on, I feel fine now. Your energy levels are still not within optimal range. Rest, okay?
Is anyone keeping an eye on the Decepticreep?
I haven't seen him since we were on the shuttle. Granted, I got sick right after he arrived, and I don't remember much.
He's still in the base, I guess. I don't like the thought of a con running loose in here with us. Assuming he's able to run at all.
He seems fine to me. Once Aileron gave him that stuff, he perked right up.
What's going to happen to them? They're going to be fine. We're all going to be fine.
You okay? You look kind of dizzy. I'm fine. Relax, Callie. Get some rest.
I give her a cycle. Watch, she'll start coughing soon. Wheeljack, that's mean. He should take more care of herself. Of course you should, kid, but you see what I mean?
You think the anti-Nadirak can stop the infection before it starts?
Don't ask me, I'm no cyberbiologist, but hey, if it fixes it now, it might fix it before it becomes necessary. Primus, what I wouldn't give to see this happening to the Decepticon. Wheeljack. What?
Maybe it is happening to the Decepticon.
He is alright. He's been out for several hours, but the pump's stronger, and we've almost finished transfusion of the mech fluid. Where is everybody? Where's Moonracer? She's got a headache and some minor equilibrium dysfunction. She's got it, not bad, and we gave her the cure immediately.
You gotta give it to everybody. Anyone who could have come in contact with it. Otherwise, it's just gonna keep spreading.
Relax, you've been out for longer than you think. We finally twigged that your anti-Nadirak bots could in fact be used as a, what's the Terran word, vaccine, and that we could put together something kind of similar, a synthetic in the lab. I had Wheeljack working on it as soon as he was well enough, and we think we can perfect it within a few cycles. Dreadwind. Yes.
What about the Decepticons?
What about them?
Well, Thrust told me that he'd been cast out because he had Nadirak, but his leader, Megatron, or whatever the slag's name is, had it too, and it was spreading.
Megatron.
I like Magnetron better. Anyway, has anyone heard from them? Shouldn't we be trying to get the anti-Nadirak to them, if it's not too late?
Yes, I suppose so, although it goes against everything we fought for all this millennia. I know, but we can't just let them die. No, we can't. No, we cannot. We have to get in contact with the Decepticons and offer our help. If they refuse it, it's their own lookout. Prime, just be still. You're still depleted. I'm fine. Your concern is appreciated, however. Where's Thrust?
Well, let's make contact with the enemy, shall we?
The Decepticon shuttle dark matter. Do you require assistance? What? Can't a guy just die in peace? I'm Thrust, Air Commander Starscream. Thrust? Yeah, it's me. You sound pretty bad. What's the situation on board? Slagging horrible. They're all out. Mighty Megatron's out, and he looks like he's ready for the scrap heap. I'm the only one left. I'm in control. Slagging horrible. They're all out. Mighty Megatron's out, and he looks like he's ready for the scrap heap. I'm the only one left. I'm in control. Starscream, give me your coordinates. But you're dead. Why do you care? I'm not dead. Trust me on that. That is the Autobots and this stranger from beyond the gate. I figured out a cure for the disease. Auto scum. I know, but they saved my life when they picked me up. And they can help us. Just tell me where you are. I don't know. Somewhere in space. Says Sector 34. Coordinates 45, 29, 72. All right, hang on. We'll be there soon. No. Prime, do you think it's wise to go in there without more firepower? I mean, a whole ship full of Decepticons against 7 of us? Maybe. And Thrust. Wheeljack, you've had Nadirak. You know what it feels like and what it does to you. If they've all got it, they're going to pose about as much threat as a troop of marshmallows. Relax.
Besides, you've all got weaponry anyway. If they try anything, we can always threaten to shoot Thrust. You forget that Starscream was the one who chucked Thrust out into the void in the first place. I doubt Thrust's worth as a hostage is very high.
I'm rather looking forward to this. I know it's unkind of me, but I would really like to see the Decepticons feeling some serious pain.
You will. You may end up feeling sorry for them, Tiger Track.
Fat chance.
I want to see this mighty Megatron, or whatever his name is. The guy who threw Thrust and his crew out.
Megatron, an aileron, you are not to hurt him. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. We don't kick a robot when he's down.
You may not, but I'm a Guardian, not an Autobot, and I just love to kick Marmatron in the shins on general principles. And the lieutenant of his, the one who's really obnoxious.
You must be referring to Starscream. No kicking him either. And can you please make an effort to remember Megatron's name?
You were absolutely no fun whatsoever. Okay, I promise I won't damage any Decepticons.
I can't believe you never came across the cons before. I mean, the war's been going on for millions of years now.
I'm fairly young. The Guardians were created a couple thousand years ago by a scientist who had the brilliant idea of working with, not against, Amaranth. In those days, Amaranth wasn't half as powerful as it is now. The bureaucracy hadn't spread out to those sectors of the galaxy. We built the gates. The first one was Tannhauser, close to Amaranth itself, all the way out to Peleus, and the gates beyond it. Then we protected the gates. That's all we did. That's what we were for.
Amaranth. The universal government seems to be getting more active each year. We've had 6 edicts already regulating aerospace clearances and weaponry from Amaranth, which has never been involved in the Cybertronian wars, never signed a treaty with Cybertron, and has no idea what is involved. The Amaranthian Accords are a pain in the circuits. Everything's paperwork. Everything has to be documented.
The administration of the Peleus Gate, which is directly subordinate to the Undersecretary for Intercontinuum Transportation and Travel on Amaranth, made the choice to allow me and my crew through the gate, then destroyed my ship with several refugees and my crew aboard. I was the only survivor. So I'm not a staunch supporter of central government. Not that I can do anything about it.
Sorry to interrupt, the gatekeeper wants to talk to Prime. Optimus Prime speaking. This is a warning message. You are entering a prohibited zone. Turn back immediately. Prohibited due to what? Classified. I repeat, turn back now. Failure to comply will result in military intervention. Listen, my crew is not entering this area to break your rules. We are on our way to save the lives of a shuttle crew, which we have reason to believe are in trouble. No craft may enter the zone. They're dying. Our mission is to simply get in there, give them the cure they need, and tow the shuttle home. Negatory. No craft may exit the restricted zone under Amaranthian Decree number 230029. Any attempts to leave this zone will result in deactivation. I'm not going to leave them there to die. I cannot stand idle by while beings are dying of a disease to which I have the cure. The pathogen is under control. The situation is in the capable hands of a team of Amaranthian virologists who aren't here, and I am, with my antiviral. You may well find yourself needing my help soon enough. You're doing this? You're setting yourself and your army up for military attack by the Amaranthian government to save the Decepticons? Sometimes rules are made to be broken. We shall enact what the humans would call cowboy diplomacy.
Oh boy, we're all gonna die.
Prime? Yes?
Is Amaranth really going to attack us?
I don't know. I expect so. I shouldn't worry about that now. Moonracer, I'm going to need you at your best when you get aboard the Dark Matter. Are all the bays prepared? We got it all set up. All we have to do is board their ship and carry them out. All right then. Thrust, Tiger Track, bring us in. Get a gravity stretcher. Get a gravity stretcher. He's going to be okay. He's going to be okay. You were worse off than he is when we found you.
They must all be in here.
The Seeker Tetrajets and Starscream. Where is he? Their leader. He's next to Starscream.
Is he alive? I don't know, but we have to try to save them.
We better get out of here with this ship before the locals come back.
Autobots, remove them quickly. Let's get out of here.
Hey, I'll take over for a while. Go ahead and get some recharge.
I'm fine. I can keep going.
No doubt you can, but your hands are starting to shake, and you're about to cauterize an undamaged tube.
Slag.
It's all right. Just go and rest, will you? Before I knock you out myself.
Who are you?
My name is Ali Rion. I'm a guardian, a friend.
I saw you. On the ship, you. Slag. Feels like cosmic rust again.
Saving your ungrateful afterburners. Your wingmate, Thrust, will be glad you're recovering. We saved him, too. After you two threw him out into space to die. Much good that did you.
Where did you come from anyway? Why are you here?
That is a long story, and you needn't look at me like that. I was stationed at the Peleus Gate.
The Peleus Gate? Yes. Where are we?
We're on the Autobot ship, towing your shuttle. We're trying to get through this weird gate system.
Slagging hell, is anyone dead? No, not yet. Thrust is okay.
He's fine. He was the one who sent us there to get you in the first place. Not that I can see why, since you apparently gave up on him as a bad job.
It wasn't my fault. I didn't make the decisions. That's Megatron's job.
I'm nearly used up, and Nadirak is my fault.
Are things all right?
Starscream's awake. You can talk to him for a few minutes, but don't tire him too much.
I won't. Ali Rion? Yes. I will. Thanks for doing this. Least I could do. You shouldn't be using that. Megatron will go spare. Megatron's still unconscious. All I'm saying is you better clean it before giving it back to him. Way ahead of you. I needed this.
He's still not conscious. Physically, he's almost all right again. His systems need more rest and relaxation to repair themselves. But he's stable. I want to know that he'll come back.
You don't even know him. I'm sure you heard all the stories, though.
I was trained as a defender, not a warrior, and my allegiance, my whole purpose, was merely the protection of the gate and its personnel. They didn't bother telling us about the Cybertronian War. It had nothing to do with us.
I still don't know how you managed to get a chunk of the Autobot Matrix.
Neither am I, to tell the truth. Although a friend of mine at the gate told me a little about it. Your Matrix, or the Autobot Matrix, is apparently a specialized crystalline structure, harder than diamond, capable of storing vast amounts of energy and information. The star jewel I carried acted as something like a cross between a power core and a massive data bank. I could access its memories and use the information to help me formulate strategies. Not that it did me much good in the end.
But how did your star jewel come to be built into a Guardian when it was originally created on Cybertron?
I don't know that it actually was created on Cybertron. My friend Sinewave had a theory that the material which became the Matrix was originally part of the debris of a dead star, a sun that had gone nova, and the earliest inhabitants of the galaxy discovered it, and discovered what it could do. At some point it had fractured into several chunks, including the large one that Prime has, and the shard we know as the Star Jewel. It's really a stupid name, isn't it?
It is a trifle cute.
When Amaranth was first built, they had forgotten the Star Jewel entirely. The other chunks of it had spread across the galaxy, and presumably your Matrix was found by the people who built Cybertron itself. I gather that my bit of it was discovered later by the scientist who created the Guardians, and that he had the bright idea of somehow incorporating it into his creations, so that they could use the energy as a backup, like a battery. He apparently had the theory that he could split the thing into many pieces and distribute them among the Guardians. I don't know what happened after that, but when I was built, I was specialized a bit, so they could carry the whole Star Jewel. Maybe he decided he couldn't divide the crystal itself. It's unbelievably hard, much harder than adamantium or diamond.
Or he realized it needed a special carrier.
Maybe. Anyway, there I was, Star Jewel and all, but I wasn't treated any differently from the other Victrons. I ended up being the leader of our Victron garrison, only because no one else wanted the job. And over the centuries, a kind of myth grew up around the Star Jewel.
Like the Matrix of Leadership.
Just like, only I never passed it to another leader. I never had a chance to.
Well, they promised military action against Prime. Maybe we'll have a chance to find out.
What are you going to do when all this is over?
I don't know. I don't know what'll happen with Megatron, if he allows me to return.
And your lot will just what? Return to your base and keep going with your war?
It's not my war, it's the war.
Let's get back. I want to check on some of the patients.
What do you want? I was just... Sorry you startled me. What the hell are you?
I told you, I'm a Guardian. I'm a Victrix, actually. A defender. I have these hardwired defense mechanisms, and you set me off. I must have drifted into recharge.
Don't expect me to apologize.
I wouldn't dream of it. Do you mind?
I'm perfectly fine, but what about him?
He's out of danger, I think. It'll just take some time for systems to recover.
What are you doing here anyway? What's your name?
It's formal introduction time, is it? I am Ali Rion, once known as Illyrius Primatrax, ex-leader of the Peleus Gate Victorine Guardians. And I know who you are, Aerospace Commander.
Wait, the Peleus Gate? The ship that was destroyed?
Was my ship, with my whole crew and several refugees aboard.
And you survived? It appears that way. Then you were the one responsible for this plague. You put us through this. It's your fault.
In that my ship was contaminated, and I entered this sector of space, yes. The explosion that destroyed my ship also released Nadirak and disseminated it quite wildly across hyperspace, whereas if I had been able to get safely to Cow Beta as I intended, the contamination would have been slight and easily controlled. As it is, I have no idea how far and fast it spread.
How come you survived?
Because I'm immune to it. I had Nadirak and survived because I had been carrying a chunk of the thing Optimus Prime calls the Matrix. It altered my body, mutated my Cirque self-repair systems, so the Nadirak couldn't kill me.
So, how did you end up here?
When my ship exploded, I was thrown out into space, badly injured but alive. I drifted for some time, and then happened to get picked up by the Autobot shuttle as it was on its way back to Cybertron. When I came back online, that also encountered Thrust.
Wait, you picked up Thrust?
And saved his life, I think. My antibodies were able to kill the Nadirak in his body as efficiently as in mine. I had explained that I knew that Optimus Prime, and he brought me back to the base so that I could try and help the rest of the Autobots, who by that time had gotten it from Thrust.
You gave your Cirque fluid to the whole damn Autobot team. You gave your Cirque fluid to the whole damn Autobot team?
Not quite. You remember, Prime carries the Matrix. We both gave as much as we could. We used it to help your lot, as well as the Autobots.
I don't believe this. You and that sanctimonious heap of scrap metal. Watch it. You two saved the whole Decepticon team as well.
Don't worry. You'd come up with a synthetic as well. So, you didn't receive unadulterated Autobot or Guardian Sarah. You needn't feel unclean.
What are you doing down here anyway?
Watching over your fearless leader. It's my watch, and the Autobot medics are in recharge.
So where are you?
Yeah, but only through sheer incompetence. If I was perfect, I would not have drifted off, okay?
Hey, I didn't.
I know, I'm just angry at myself. It's part of why I jumped you.
He's conscious.
Look, you still need rest. You need a few more hours recharge.
No.
Would you rather I knock you out myself?
I'd like to see you try. You're worn out. I am not. Then why are your hands shaking?
I'm fine. I already finished the delegate work.
I see. I don't understand you. What's to understand? Well, if you were trained as a Victrix, how the hell did you learn microsurgery?
You get inquisitive when you're bored. Guarding the Peleus Gate wasn't exactly a full-time job. We went out on patrol more to amuse ourselves than to protect the gate.
You are bizarre.
And you're still recovering. Go to bed. I'll be happy to make you.
Fine. I don't need a nursemaid, you know. No, you need a leader. I wish to examine him. No, I have no change to report in Megatron's condition. He is stable. I wish to examine him.
I've already explained it. Until Megatron has recovered, he is to remain under observation in the medical bay with no disturbances.
You can help us by releasing Megatron and letting us off this slagging base Autobot.
We don't work like that. We're doing everything we can to help you.
But the Autobots helped us by saving our lives. You're on their side now? Megatron should throw you out. I'm not on their side. I'm merely pointing out that without their help, we would all be dead now. You remember what it was like. You remember the pain, the helplessness, and the fear. They went through it too, and they helped us. They didn't have to. I doubt they would have in their place. That isn't the issue. I merely want to reassure you that Megatron is safe and under expert care. I doubt Starscream would help us take command of the situation. I've already explained this. Until Megatron has recovered, he is to remain under observation in the medical bay with no disturbances. I don't trust you. How do we know you're not torturing him down there?
We don't work like that. We're doing everything we can to help you.
Welcome back. I'm surprised you're already back online.
You look like Jhiaxus, but you're clearly younger. Who are you? What is this place?
Safe, but you won't like the other answer.
What, am I in the hands of Optimus Prime?
Well, yes. It's all right. Your Decepticons are safe.
What? Explain yourself.
I'm not sure I can. You, along with your force and the crew of an Autobot ship, were infected with a virus, which was partly my fault.
Oh, you will be. Keep talking.
I never meant to spread the virus. My superiors destroyed my ship as soon as I came through the gate, thinking they were destroying the virus as well. They spread it. They think I'm dead.
Oh, you will be. Keep talking.
Do not try to strain those repairs. They took me a couple cycles to complete. What happened in the short version is that the Autobots found me, got infected, and discovered that I was able to produce a sort of cure to the virus. So is Prime. We had encountered Thrust, whom you'd blamed it all on and cured him, and convinced us to try and get in touch with your ship and see if any of your crew were still functional, and brought you the cure. And here you are. None of us were sure you'd make it. You flatlined on the way here.
What are you?
I'm not quite sure. I'm Ali Rion, a Victrix Guardian, by construction, but I have no idea what I've become.
You didn't know us, the Decepticons.
Well, I'd never heard of you, or the Autobots for that matter. Why?
You helped us. Yes, I was needed. The Autobots helped us. Yes. Why?
You needed help, that's why. Because of your scintillating personality, no doubt.
Do you know who I am?
Yes, I can even pronounce your name right, although Prime wouldn't believe it.
What about my forces?
They're all out of sickbay. Starscream was the last to leave. They're all functioning at top capacity.
The ship?
Has been decontaminated and repaired. As soon as you're fit to travel, you can go back to your base and restart your little war. There, doesn't that cheer you up?
Do I look to you like a Care Bear? I don't need cheering up. I need to get out of this slagging medbay and destroy something.
Ah, yes, I do understand. That cannon of yours is quite a piece of engineering.
What? You're either talking about my cannon or my trigger crotch on my G1 counterpart.
Your fusion cannon. Lovely thing. Bit of a recoil, but it doesn't pull left or right at all. I want one.
Are you sure you're not related to Jhiaxus at all? What are you?
I'm a Victrix, like I said, and you need rest, Mighty Megatron.
You stole and then returned my gun. Don't call me that.
Borrowed, actually. You were very deeply unconscious at the time, and I did clean out the scoring and reset the chambers, as Thrust had recommended.
He told you that?
Well, only after he said you'd use spare when you found out I'd used it in the first place.
How are you feeling? He was right. I'll have words with him too. How are you feeling? Fine, I'm perfectly functional, like Data on Star Trek.
Really? No pain at all? No weakness?
I am fully recovered.
I see. Then you'll be able to get up, I assume, and take command of your forces.
Of course I will. Lesson learned. Lesson learned.
Males always thinking they can fight through something until they get flat on their face.
Oh man, that space energon. Ali Rion. Ali Rion, you're needed.
Slag off. No one needs me. Let me sleep off this drunk and I'll go.
Look, I know this is difficult for you. And you've done more for us than anyone could have ever asked for. Who did this?
Prime, Starscream's right. This is all my fault. I've done what I had to fix it. Just let me go, okay? Let me go.
Where will you go?
I don't know, all right. I don't slagging know. Just let me go.
If you want to leave, you are free to go whenever you wish. I cannot thank you enough for what you've done for us.
Ah, yes, you're welcome. Did you like the Nadirak? Was it satisfying? Was it nasty enough? Can I go and infect you with another plague just to make it good?
Ali Rion? Yes. Quit pretending to be drunk and listen to me. Because I'm a lot older than you, which gives me the right to be heard.
You mean it was synthetic booze?
Yes, the alcohol is fake. I don't want my crew becoming drunk. I'm only going to say this once. You, through no real fault of your own, exposed the galaxy to Nadirak. You did so out of a laudable effort to save those infected through an accident. However, you more than acquitted yourself from the infection through your efforts to save those you didn't even know. If we hadn't found you, you would have little chance of discovering the Matrix's protective effects against Nadirak. You may possibly be the only thing that has saved both Autobots and Decepticons.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to help the Delta Hadron scientists. I made the wrong decision.
Primus, will you listen to me for a minute? I am trying to tell you that you made the right decision, all right? If you hadn't brought your ship out to the gate, Primus knows how many other ships would have been contaminated with Nadirak without even knowing it. You tried to save a bunch of innocents. You were preventing doing so.
Which reminds me, have the Amaranthian officials actually declared war against you yet?
Not as far as we know. They destroyed all their defensive and offensive strike forces when they blew up the Starjammer, didn't they? Yes, but my lover's singularity was killed. You were dating a fusion cannon? Well, you can't have Megatrons.
Well, I wouldn't think of it. I only borrowed his. Besides, his first love was Starscream.
I thought his first love was Primary, stolen from Megatronus, his namesake. Well, if you say so. Go and get your injury looked at. Wheeljack and the Peridron Moonracer are out of recharge. Some of the Decepticons are helping out in the medbay. What have you been giving them? Oh, nothing. I think it's just our good moral influence on them. Must be, Prime. What is it? They hate me, don't they? Who hates you? Decepticons hate everybody. Nothing. I'll just be leaving soon. You may stay as long as you wish. Thank you. And get your hand looked at.
Hello. Haven't seen you for a while. Yes, Prime told me to come down here and have you repair my hand.
What did you do?
I slammed it in a door. Just fix it, okay? One hell of a funny door. The pressure was applied laterally in parallel lines. It was an accident. I think the second and third tendon cables are damaged. I can move the rest of the fingers. This may take a while. You should have come to me before. The tubes are clotted. Who was it?
What?
Come on. I can tell the difference between fingers and door jams, okay? Who did this to you?
No one. It was an accident.
Look, if someone's been hurting you, you need to let Prime know. This sort of thing is not acceptable. It's nothing. It was my fault anyway. Sick beta, Prime. Prime, do you read me?
There's no need for that. I did it. Last night, I think. I don't really remember.
You assaulted a medic. Don't. It was my fault, like I said. He was in pain, and I gave him my hand to hold onto so that the recharge beds wouldn't get finger dents in them. He didn't even know he was doing it. What the slag is going on here? Nothing is going on. Just please, can you fix my hand and I'm out of here.
What? Where are you going? Is Prime having some kind of meeting? No, I'm leaving. I shouldn't be here. Ali Rion, are you feeling alright? Have you been drinking? Because that stuff's fake, you know. Not hardly enough. I'm not one of you, Moonracer. Besides, if Amaranth or the gate station find out I'm here, I'm liable to bring down a minor war on your heads. Make that a major war. Amaranth is very down on people who don't comply with quarantine regulations. Where are you going to go? I haven't a clue. Come on, fix me, it hurts.
Don't be an idiot. There's nowhere for you to go. Even if you manage to find a hospitable planet, you still have to pass through the gate sector. They'd pick up your energy signature. He's right.
Right now, they haven't got any Victrons available. If I go now, I might be able to get through.
Run away, then. Run away like a scared little Decepticon. Thank you. I think I will. So, it was just a fluke. What do you mean? What do you mean? That you had the courage to steal my gun and use it without permission. I thought maybe you weren't a coward after all. You're just another frightened little fembot when it comes down to it, though.
What? I'm not a coward.
Yes, you are. You got everyone into this wretched situation, and now you want to run off and forget your responsibility. Terribly brave of you, Victrix. You're like an alt-right human.
Shut up. You know nothing about it. I'm more like a Karen.
I know enough.
Without me, you'd all be dead. I saved your life.
Yes, and you wore yourself out watching over me, and you didn't say a word when I crushed your hand to slag, nor seek any sort of attention for it, and generally acted in a worthwhile sort of way. And now you suddenly had enough and you want out, on the pretext of protecting us from Amaranth. Fix her. How does it feel?
Her hand is repaired. Try not to break it again. Fine. It's as good as new. Thank you. Ali Rion, look. Don't do anything rash, okay? Get a couple more hours recharge and go talk to Prime before you do anything else. This isn't all about you. Isn't it? Ah. You would try the patience of Alpha Trion himself. I'm going to give you to a moment, all right. Maybe you can knock some sense into her head, Megatron. Well, go on. You can tell me now. Nobody's listening. What the slag do you care about me? You're the Decepticon.
You're right. I don't care.
Then why did you say anything in the first place?
Because you seem to be, by and large, a rational being. It strikes me as odd and misguided that you're acting so irrationally now.
I'm not acting irrationally. I've done what I had to do the base to do. I've done my best to fix what happened as a result of my actions. Now, it looks like more danger is coming this way as a result of me, and I don't wish to make life any harder for the Autobots than it already is shaping up to be.
The Autobots? What about the Autobots? You've sworn allegiance, then?
No, I'm still a Guardian, although a rogue Guardian, and possibly one who's got a price on her head. No, I'm still a Guardian, although a rogue Guardian, and possibly one with a price on my head. No, I'm still a Guardian, although a rogue Guardian, and possibly one with a price on my head.
Did you know that 2 of my Decepticons have come to me in the past cycle, while you were presumably drinking yourself insensitive on heavy energon, which has no intoxicants in it, and had a quite complicated discussion with me about you? You're interesting. Although the primary from my timeline was hotter. She's long gone. No, why? The primary of my timeline was killed. I killed her. Let me see that hand. Why didn't you have it fixed earlier? Why do you care?
Are you bi-curious, Megatron? Because I don't care much. I just wanted to get out and away. Well, I was thinking. I was tired. So tired I could hardly walk straight, let alone do any sort of repairs on myself. And I badly wanted to stop thinking about anything. About myself, about this place, about what happened. I sort of liked the pain, actually. It was something else to distract myself.
And I wanted never to have met any of you.
I wanted to have never met any of you. It would have been so much simpler.
Nothing simple, kid. Didn't you know that yet?
I'm learning it slowly and painfully.
Why did you stay up with me so long? You must have missed 2 whole recharge cycles.
I don't know, because you're interesting. You're all interesting.
Thrust is particularly curious about what you're going to do. Starscream came to me after it left, asking me if I knew anything more about your plan.
Starscream came to me after he left, asking me if I knew anything more about your plans.
What did you tell him? I told him to slag off and let me recharge. I think it was something of a shock to him to discover that he owed his life to a female stranger. I told him to slag off and let me recharge. I think it was something of a shock to him to discover that he owes his life to a female stranger.
Oh, Primus, not that. Haven't they gotten over that yet?
Apparently not. Ali Rion, I'm not going to have sex with you. That would be stupid.
Yeah, you're kind of a Black Widow. You admitted to killing your last mate. Primary was her name?
Just don't put my dick in crazy. I thought I'd find you here. What do you want? Nothing. Then go away, I'm busy. You're wasting bombs. You always get cross when you run out of bombs. Have to use extra energon to develop more. What? Shut up. I'm not cross. What's the matter? This. All of this. Can you believe it? We're inside the slagging Autobot base, and we haven't blown it up yet. The worst thing is, I don't know why we haven't blown it up yet. I know, but it's not the same. That's the point. I don't know what's going to happen. Nothing's simple anymore. I talked to Megatron, but it didn't help. Yeah, what did he say? Not much beyond slag off, but the impression I got was that he seemed to be, giving the whole situation a lot of thought. He also sort of said that I was reinstated as a Decepticon, despite having been chucked off the dark matter. He said his pride was undergoing structural changes or something. What? I don't know, but I've been thinking, when I was dying in space alone, I kind of wondered if I could have done something more interesting with my life than fighting Autobots. I mean, when you get right down to it, there's always more Autobots to fight. It never ends. We won't give up, and neither will they. It's what we do. Yeah. And thrust. Yeah. If you tell anyone I said this, you're a heap of molten slag. Said what? Said what? I'm tired of it. Of the war. I'm slow. You're not the only one, though. Prime, how are you feeling today? Never better. You'll be happy to know that Megatron is recovering well. Does that mean they're leaving? Not quite yet. I've had several interesting reports from drone scouts in the Peleus Gate sector. Apparently a ship from Amaranth exited the gate and docked with the station itself. We should be prepared for new developments.
Were there any of these warrior guys aboard? The Victors, or whatever they're called?
Victrons. No, actually, a felinoid life form was aboard the ship. Amaranth had sent out one of their own. Oh man, are they serious about attacking us? Don't panic just yet. We don't know if they're infected with Nadirak. If they are, then they don't pose much of a threat. However, if they do have Nadirak, we are obliged to offer our aid. We are? Yes, we are, but we have the only thing that might save them. But they threatened to attack us.
Yeah, so did the Decepticons. Every day or so for the past 9 million years. Prime's right. If they need help, we gotta help them.
How come we gotta be so noble? Because we're Autobots and we're not cruel. So what do? For now, we watch and wait. They may not have Nadirak at all, in which case they might decide to attack us and cut their losses, and we'll have to fight. But for now, we wait. Try not to start any fights with the Decepticons, okay? We may need their strength. Oh, man. Open the comm channel. The planet of Cybertron and surrounding sectors ought to be sterilized using the highest plasma intensity by order of the Supreme Minister of Amaranth and the Federation Galactic Systems. It's perfect. Your approval ratings will climb even higher, and so will ours. If you'd care to continue the conversation elsewhere, my dear Minister. They're lying, Prime. They clearly don't have that kind of power. Well, obviously, but why grandstand like that? They're a bureaucracy, similar to alt-right Earth creatures. What does a confusing mess of human hypocrisy have anything to do with this? It doesn't. They just have the same sheer fracking hubris. And they don't want to take responsibility for a plague they accidentally let out. That does sound like Earth. The humans were never ready for first contact, Prime. Except that we were buried on the Earth for millions of years. I suppose after that much time we'd be considered native Earthers. Disgusting. Enough. I've consulted the Ministry, and we have decided. I wish to speak to Ali Rion.
Ali Rion now? Who is this?
Sinewave sent me. That was before they executed her for treason. I took a chance calling her calm. You're all sure you died in the blast. Where are you?
I'm on the Autobot base ship, orbiting near your gate. Look, what's going on? Does your lot have what we call Nadirak?
Nadirak? Oh, you mean DHX-1. Not anymore. Listen, Ali Rion. Everyone has to evacuate. Get the slag out of that sector. Amaranth's about to send out sterilization ships.
Yes, why didn't you call Cybertron directly?
The planet itself is out of my comm range, and they don't have an Ultramagnus in that timeline. And I can't use the main station comm, because it records everything, transmits on demand to Amaranth. I'm not even sure they can trace personal comm units. Yes, in the War for Cybertron universe, I killed Ultramagnus. I have his head back in my office. You are one sick bastard, you know that.
I'm not going to let crazy in me either.
Too late, you're already crazy. Nadirak. Oh, you mean DHX-1. Not anymore. Listen, Ali Rion. Everyone has to evacuate. Get the slag out of the sector. Amaranth is about to send out sterilization ships.
Yeah, but why didn't you call Cybertron directly?
You think I haven't tried? The planet itself is out of my comm range, and I can't use the main station comm, because it records everything, and transmits on demand to Amaranth. I'm not even sure they can't trace personal comm units. I expect they can. We just got the notification that the sterilization ships will be gating through in 2 cycles, with full armament. Why are they telling us that? What's in it for them?
Why do they want to flame Cybertron? Is Nadirak a threat to them?
No, actually it doesn't affect us beasties at all. So they're just doing it to show off, as far as I can tell. You don't have a lot of time, Ali Rion. No. I'll call again if I find out anything. Yes. All right then, I'm sorry. Yes. Their intention is to flame the planet into sterility? That's ridiculous.
Why would they tell us that? What's in it for them?
Nothing. They're also in the sector that would be slated for sterilization. Amaranth's gonna nuke their own people with their own gate? Why? They can always build more Guardians, and the gate station itself will not be badly damaged. This is an extermination of inconvenient pests, not a tactical military attack. This collateral damage is slight compared to the relief of getting us and Cybertron out of their way.
Just gonna sit and let us melt us into slag.
No, we are not.
Prime, we can't possibly resist a full onslaught from Amaranth. There aren't that many of us, and our firepower's pathetic compared to those plasma cannons. Yeah, we're really screwed this time.
If we had more time, we could attempt to leave Cybertron. I'm not running away from Amaranth. Autobots, panic is not going to help us here. We have to work together if we're going to survive.
They're right. The plasma cannons probably have the power to take out a planet. You'd have no chance.
What's it to you? You brought it on us in the first place.
Yes, and I can't stop it. You have to leave and leave now if you want to live.
That's exactly the kind of attitude that we don't need. Accepting defeat makes defeat inevitable. We're not going to go down that easily. What's the plan? What are we going to do? What are the structural specifics of these plasma cannons? What sort of power core do they use, and how are they controlled? I don't know that. We must learn how they work, so we can break them. He's right. We need to know as much as we can about how the Amaranthian force is armed. But we don't have any way to find that out. I say we just go blast the ships when they arrive. That's one idea. An idiotic one. Go up against a fully armed Amaranthian plasma cannon with what? If you have a suggestion, make it. Your great friends the Guardians work for Amaranth, yes.
In which case we would have access to Amaranth's uplinked core.
Yes, but not necessarily to the tech specs of their sterilization ships. Have you got a better plan, Optimus Prime?
Not yet, but I won't stand by and let Cybertron be destroyed. We'll ask her Guardians for help.
What about your forces?
Cybertron is our home planet, too. This is the worst idea you've ever come up with, and you've had some real winners in your time. Shut up, Starscream. Interesting. Nothing particularly advanced, and yet they seem to have no problem taking over parts of the galaxy. What are you talking about? You're not seriously thinking of teaming up with the Autobots and launching an attack against Amaranth? You underestimate me, Starscream, as usual. No, I'm not seriously thinking of teaming up with the Autobots, as you so delicately put it. I am thinking of working together with them to destroy a threat to Cybertron, which we might otherwise not be able to combat. That's the same thing. Team up with, work together with, same slagging thing. You've gone soft, Megatron, that's what it is. I'd think very carefully about what you say before you say it, Starscream. I have in mind a temporary cease of open hostilities toward the Autobots, for the space of time it takes us to neutralize the Amaranthian threat to Cybertron. After that, I want nothing to do with them. Decepticon pride won't save Cybertron, much as I prefer it to. As you wish, my leader. You, how much longer till the attack? 1.7 cycles. No reading of any approaching craft. Good. Megatron, something important has happened. Very well, Optimus Prime. What have you gotten us into? We will see. This is ex-Commander Ross. He once served in the Amaranthian military and has useful knowledge of their attack ships' specifications. Who among us wants Amaranth to back off and keep its collective nose to itself? What about the sterilization rays? Does your pet Squishy know anything about them? Shut up, Starscream. Well, Prime, any news on the specifications of the Amaranthian ships? Not yet.
My ex-colleagues at the Peleus Gate may have more information for you. This is my communication link to the gate. Use it as you see fit, with my blessing.
You're not going to help? You're just going to let it happen?
What can I do? I'm giving you all I can give you to help end this thing.
Ha, yeah. Just hand it over and bugger off, is that it? You're done with us, and now you're going somewhere else and relax while we fight your idiot war.
No, I won't. Nobody around here is relaxing, Starscream, and my idiot war is not all mine.
Here. I bet nobody here likes Amaranth. All right, who here wants to see Amaranth back the hell off and keep its collective business to itself? The human is right. Amaranth must fall. Who's with us? Well, if we could use the Matrix energy to set off those fusion cannons, how would we even set that up?
It isn't possible. The Matrix energy from this universe is different from the energy in the Prime universe.
Understand that in the Prime universe, they fought a giant planet that turned into a robot called Unicron.
They defeated it with the Matrix, but how will we do that? Maybe we won't have to. Maybe they're exaggerating their power.
It's ridiculous to think they would just be lying. Oh, mighty Megatron, what a pleasant surprise. I have not waged war for millions of years and not recognized a bluff when I see one.
You actually think that the Amaranth have grossly overestimated their powers?
Definitely. I would lift a wager on it. You'll see how destructive they are. They'll use their cannons. I wonder if my allies have arrived in position.
I've confirmed the coordinates, Prime. There is no plasma cannon here.
That is most intriguing, Callie from the other timeline. Optimus Prime, am I to understand there is no threat at the gate? There is no apparent threat, Megatron. It appears the Amaranthian guides got the sickness and died.
I am detecting a massive weapons platform, sir. But the controllers appear to all be dead.
They gathered around that one spot to try and bluff us. Then the Peleus Gate will be there too, and remain off limits.
Well, if there are any survivors on their homeworld, we should send the cure to them.
They caused this mess.
They deserve to suffer. We will not do that, Megatron. We're Autobots. We will distribute the cure to the survivors.
It's more a vaccine than a cure. Just makes you less sick. I should return to my people and face responsibility and judgment for my actions.
You almost caused the Transformers to go to war for nothing. You should be flogged.
I would probably like that, as my relative Jhiaxus would agree if he were still alive.
Wait, the gate is completely unguarded. Who will lead us now?
Well, I have to face judgment, so I can't lead you.
We were able to distribute the vaccine to the survivors on the planet and return immediately to the base.
How many of them survived, Prime?
The virus was not as deadly as they claimed it was. It only took out their bureaucracy. They'll be completely leaderless. The Decepticons should fly in and take over.
The Guardians won't let you do that, Megatron, but I won't stop you. I have to go to judgment.
Well, now that the gate's not quarantined anymore, we can go home.
No, want to hear a funny story? When I was in this other universe, I shot a Galvatron.
That is bizarre.
Would someone mind telling me what's going on with these wars?
Maybe they should rename the pettiest gate the Nadirak Gate. Title drop. Too soon, Megatron. I'm a Decepticon. It's never too soon. We will part ways after this and return to Cybertron. Very well, Optimus Prime. How do you feel? What? Do I look like a Care Bear to you? No, you do not.
This is a fully contained one. There's no prologue.
And she thought I was crazy.